Home sweet home. Home ice for the Riverhawks for the first time in 10 years. The Hockey East quarterfinals begin at UMass Lowell's Songus Center on Thursday night. Games against Providence College Thursday and Friday, and Sunday, 4 o'clock if necessary. We are joined by the head coach of the Riverhawks, Norm Bazin. And Norm, first a tip of the hat. Congratulations to you and this hockey club for making the playoffs and grabbing home ice.
Thanks, Bob. It's certainly exciting for our fans, and we're anxious to get things started here. Thursday should be an exciting hockey game.
Is postseason hockey different than regular season hockey? And if it is different, in what way is it different?
Well, it's a whole new level of intensity, so I would say it's somewhat different. A lot more simple, a lot more direct. Guys are playing with a lot more urgency because there is no tomorrow. So, the first round could be the last round for somebody, and will be.
One thing that impressed me about this hockey team this past weekend, it seemed as though, as well as we played offensively and defensively, one of the things that jumped out at me was the attention paid to the small details. Is that what the postseason is about, the details?
A lot of it. You bring up a great observation. I thought we played with a lot of jump last weekend, and we were detail-oriented, and I think both of those things are tremendous observations for the simple fact that our playoffs started last week. We feel we had to play that style of hockey in order to lead into this week.
This week we play a team that we saw last week in Providence College. We won those 2 games. Do you try to learn from those games but then put it out of your memory and approach this fresh? Obviously, we respect the opponent. Do you try to assume nothing?
Well, you have to. Last weekend is the end of the regular season. Now starts a whole new season. So you have to put it behind you because this team has a whole fresh start. They get back their top leading scorer, Schaller, number 11. He's a big kid. They're going to be a different team, and they obviously have a different look to them. So we're going to have to make some adjustments and improve upon some of the weaknesses that we may have had last weekend.
You have been a player on successful teams. You have been a coach on successful teams. What separates those who are successful at this time of the year from those that are not?
Well, quite honestly, a lot of times is teams playing loose. And whenever intensity gets to a point where guys are gripping harder, it's tougher to function. And I think our guys have had an ability so far to play fairly loose, to play certainly with an air of positivism, and more importantly, not grip their sticks so hard at net front and do some of those types of things. So the expectations have been lessened, and I think it helps our team function.
I guess in some ways you have to try to keep it fun.
You do, because the game always comes back to that. However, with the playoff intensity, everything else, you have to keep in mind, you have to play the way that you're most successful. And for us, that's high intensity, that's physical, that's a skating game. And just think about the process rather than the result.
I was talking with some of the players yesterday at practice, and they were talking about determining their identity, and that they feel they have done as a hockey club. If that is the case, how important is a team's identity, and what is then this team's identity?
Well, I think it's very important. I think it's been our mission from the start of the season, is reestablishing our identity. I think our identity is very simple. We're a fast skating club that plays with intensity, that gets after opponent, tries to create turnovers, and we play with a lot of physicality most nights. And when we do that, we give ourselves an opportunity at success. It doesn't guarantee success, but it gives us an opportunity at it. And so far, it's worked out well for us.
I know coaches, managers in various sports are fond of saying you take things one game at a time. In hockey, at this point in the season, do you almost take it one period at a time or almost one shift at a time? Or am I being overly dramatic?
Yeah, you might be analyzing it a little too much, but you do have to take it one period at a time. I think that's a cautious thought on your part, but it is realistic, especially in playoffs, because things can get real high and real low sometimes. We're going to take it certainly one game at a time because we can't look forward in any way. This is a good hockey club that's coming into town, and we're looking forward to starting playoffs.
We spend that entire year working to get home ice. How important is that home ice? We've got it now. How much of a difference does it make?
Well, I can tell you after the game, it's exciting to bring playoff hockey to Lowell, and I'm certainly cognizant of the fact that it doesn't guarantee any success, but that crowd can help put you over the edge. So we're very, very pleased to bring it to Lowell. Now we got to get everybody to show up and give us that edge we need.
I suspect this weekend, and I like asking, what's it about? And I suspect the answer is it comes down to execution. This team, it appeared this past weekend, demonstrated that it can execute consistently well for 60 minutes and then another 60 minutes. Is that indeed what it's about now in these next days ahead?
Well, it has to be. You have to win two to get by the first round. So at some point, you do have to win that next 60 minutes. But we're only concentrating on the first 60. To put a whole weekend together is tough. To sweep in Hockey East against any team is very difficult. We're going to concentrate on our own work habits and our effort. And if we do that, the execution, I believe, will come. And we'll concentrate on that first, and I'm pretty confident that the other stuff will take care of itself.
I guess finally and simply, you like this club?
I do. These kids work extremely hard. They've got the right mindset, the right mentality for things. We just have to keep them grounded and keep them in the moment. And when we do that, we're an excellent hockey club.
And I guess I'll remind people, the Hockey East quarterfinals, Providence College at UMass Lowell at the Tsongas Center, Thursday night and Friday night at 7 o'clock, and if necessary, Sunday at 4 o'clock. And we hope that you're here. Norm Bazin, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Bob.
And good luck.